Coming to paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, 1987. Learn lessons about life and teenage love in the 1980s with this coming-of-age John Haynes story. Pre-order your copy of John Haynes, 1987 at online booksellers everywhere. An 18-year-old was arrested for allegedly shooting his stepfather after he told him to wash the dishes and clean his room. All news footage in this video is used under fair use of United States copyright law of 1976 and is used in conjunction with my commentary.
New details on a dispute in Shreveport that ended in a shooting. The shooting happened yesterday morning on Melrose Street. Shreveport police say the altercation happened when 21-year-old Shamichael Jones was asked by his stepfather to help with cleaning the dishes. We're told Jones refused and then allegedly shot his stepfather in the leg with a shotgun. The stepfather was transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Jones was arrested and charged with second-degree aggravated battery.
Now, in this incident, which took place in Shreveport, Louisiana, 18-year-old Shamichael Jones decided to take a shotgun and shoot his stepfather in the leg after he told him to go do the dishes and clean his room. Now, the police are seeing the shooting of Shamichael Jones' stepfather as an isolated incident, but when I take a critical examination of the behavior of Shamichael Jones, it fits the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. And one of the big problems that beta males have is dealing with male authority and male authority figures. And the reason why they have a problem dealing with male authority and male authority figures is because most beta males come from households that are run by women, and they are used to submitting to the authority of a woman. And because these males oftentimes grow up in environments where most of the leaders are female, they do not see another man as somebody they need to see as a leader. No, they see another male as a subordinate. And when you have a male who sees other males as subordinates, they do not want to submit to their authority, nor do they want to regard them as somebody they need to respect. And because these males do not respect or regard male authority figures, what they do is see them as competition for the attention of the female that's in charge. And this is what leads to the friction between many beta males and their stepfathers, because it becomes a power struggle in that home. Now, that's one of the reasons why smart men go out of their way to avoid single mothers, because when you're dealing with a single mom, oftentimes she has a son like a Shamichael Jones, and oftentimes that boy has been placed in the role of becoming a surrogate husband. And as that surrogate husband, what happens is that single mom goes out here and creates a codependent relationship with that boy, where she makes him a pseudo head of household. And in that pseudo role, he believes that he is the one who's supposed to have all of the power of a man. Unfortunately, he does not have the mental or emotional maturity of a man. And because he does not have the mental or emotional maturity of a man, he does not know how to act like a leader. In fact, what he is a follower, and he's been coddled and spoiled to believe that he has power. But the power he's been given by his mother is not one that allows him to be able to function in a healthy relationship, because the codependent relationship he has with his mom is not how the world works as related to how men survive. And again, because this male has not been taught male life skills or male survival skills, he does not understand that when you are in the presence of a male authority figure, you have to show that man his respect. No, in his case, he believes that the man is somebody he does not need to respect or regard, and he sees him basically as a threat to the pseudo power that his mother has given him by coddling and spoiling him. And because he sees that man as a threat to his power, what he wants to do is go out here and eliminate that man from his family circle. So there's a power struggle, but the man who gets involved with this woman, he doesn't understand that he is in the middle of a power struggle with this boy. No, he goes out here and believes that he is actually going to be able to have a healthy relationship with this woman and this boy, not understanding you are dealing with an extremely unstable man in crisis, and this man was a ticking time bomb, and in some cases after this pandemic, he has become a landmine, and just dealing with him can lead to him exploding in a rage, and as he explodes in that rage, he is capable of participating in a spectrum of violent behaviors. And while this man who married this woman thought, oh, I'm going to be able to assert my authority and be able to run a household like a head of household, he had no idea that this male that he had as a stepson basically was looking to challenge his power. And he was looking to challenge his power because he saw him as a direct threat to his position as the pseudo head of household. So this is the thing that led to this male looking to go out here and do harm to this man. This man thought, oh, I'll be able to go out here and be able to run this household. I'll be able to tell this 18-year-old what to do. And that was the biggest mistake he made since he got involved with this single mom. The biggest mistake that he made was thinking, oh, I'll be able to assert authority over this 18-year-old man. No, you're not going to be able to assert any sort of authority because at 18 years old, this male was an adult, and this adult man was not somebody you were going to be able to tell what to do. And that's why smart men would avoid a single mom like this, because this 18-year-old was entrenched in her home, and he's been embedded in that home with nowhere to go. So there's nothing you can do as related to this boy. No, he's going to become a problem, and the only way to avoid this situation is just not to get involved with her. But this guy decided to get involved with her and thought, oh, I'm going to be able to assert my authority on this home. I'm going to be able to assert my authority to be able to tell this boy what to do. And one of the worst things you could do with a boy who's never had a father in his life is try to tell him what to do, because he's not used to male authority or male authority figures. He does not respect male authority or male authority figures, and he does not want to follow the chain of command of God's order. No, he's not a part of God's order. He does not know how to submit to male authority under God's order. So when you try to tell him what to do, what he's going to do is get defensive. What he's going to do is resist you. And as he's resisting you, what he's going to look to do is express his contempt towards you. And basically, I believe what happened in this home, this boy had a lot of contempt to the point where he looked to explode in this rage and looked to take out the so-called new authority figure and bring back his smooth world with his mother. Unfortunately, when he allegedly took out this shotgun and allegedly shot this stepfather, he went from having a smooth world to a rough world, and he went from the comfort of his home with his mama to the jail cell in Shreveport. And if he is convicted of a crime, he's going to go from being uncomfortable in jail to becoming extremely uncomfortable in prison, where he will be under the authority of the COs, who will be telling him when to get up, when to eat, when to exercise, and in between being told what to do by those male authorities as related to the COs, he's going to have to deal with the social order of Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Rodney. And he's going to be dealing with these males, and these males are going to let him know what the pecking order is as they turn that tight end into a wide receiver, as they trade that backside and that front side for Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, pet, peppermint candy balls, packets of Crystal Light, Taster's Choice coffee, off-brand Oreo cookies, off-brand lemon cookies, off-brand duplex cookies, marshmallow beans, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pies. It's just not going to be pretty for this young man as he's sitting in prison for at least about 5 to 15 years. He's going to lose the best years of his life because he didn't know how to respect a man, and sadly, because he did not know how to respect a man, what happened was this young man went from being a man in his mama's home to becoming a man in crisis on the road to the penitentiary, all because he did not know how to navigate through his emotions as related to dealing with a stepfather. Because when you have a mom who wants to marry another man, the only way to solve that problem as a boy is to start making your plans to go out here and go find either a job to get your own place. And if you're like this young 18-year-old male, the only other thing you could do is possibly go into the military. Those are your options as a man when you have a mom who marries a stepfather, because if you stay in that home, you're going to wind up with a power struggle, and that power struggle is not going to be one that you're going to win, because the woman will be emotionally attached to that man, and she will want to go out here and want to submit to him, and she's not going to respect you as a man who came from another family. No, at that point, if you're out here, the only thing you can do is go out here and start making moves to either go to college and move away, go to the military and go get yourself in the military and make a living and a career there, or you go out here and you try to find a way to get a job. Those are your options when your mom gets with another man, because you're not going to be able to be the man of that house. No, he's the man of that house. He is the head of household, and he is the one who is controlling that house at that point. So instead of getting upset about having to deal with male authority, you're going to have to learn how to adapt to male authority and male authority figures, because at that point, you're going to have to learn how to work with male authority and male authority figures, and this is something many males don't understand. You're going to have to learn how to work with male authority, because this is a life skill that you weren't taught, because this is what happens to males who come from single mother households. They are never taught the male life skill that, hey, one of the most important survival skills you're going to have to learn is to respect and regard other men. You're going to have to learn how to respect and regard other men, because it's other men who are the only ones who are going to be able to help you. And if you work against those men, you're not going to be able to survive in this world. And that's what happened here with this young man. He didn't learn how to work with men. He didn't learn how to see men as allies, because a lot of guys who come from single mother households, they are raised to see men as enemies. And because they're raised to see men as enemies by their single moms, whenever their mom tries to bring a new man into the situation, you wind up with the friction like this. And it's that friction that leads to these young men basically getting so angry that they want to go out here and take the life of another man. And as they're looking to take the life of another man, they go from being men who have their intangibles like their dignity, their self-respect, and their freedom, to becoming males who are looking to get into the prison system, where they are turned out by Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Rodney. And that's the sad thing that happens to these males. They wind up becoming men in crisis, and these men in crisis wind up in a situation, again, because they don't understand that the world is not going to cater or coddle them like single mom. No, they're going to expect them to be men, and sadly, because there's no man to give them guidance like their father, they wind up falling through the cracks into the criminal justice system, like this man, Shamika Jones. And again, this man sadly wound up falling through the cracks, and he's gone from being a man to becoming a man in crisis. Now, if you want to learn more about what leads to males like this young man having their whole life derailed and becoming in this dysfunctional paradigm where they wind up on the road to prison. You can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Man Crisis at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to learn how to avoid single mothers and wind up in situations like this, you can pick up my book, The Misadventures of Captain Save-'em, which is on Kindle Unlimited on Amazon.com. And if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read it for free. And if you want to pick up some of my other books on the SJS Direct imprint, like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, the John Haynes series, the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, my sorority novel, The Thetas, and my vampire novel, Eternal Night, you can find all those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format, along with The Man Crisis and The Misadventures of Captain Save-'em. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, Godbreaker. The man who rules the world takes on the Asgardian god of thunder in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes, Godbreaker in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. Now available on Lulu, John Haynes at Death's Door. The man who rules the world takes on the Greek god of death in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes comic book. Get your copy of the first John Haynes comic at lulu.com today. Coming to paperback and e-readers, The Retreat by Lawrence Cherry. If you want to advance in your faith in God, sometimes you have to retreat. Pre-order your copy of The Retreat by Lawrence Cherry at Amazon.com, Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble today.